We just started the show off with a bit of a cough and a word of warning: this show isn't for children. Um, we see Rachel showed up again as Rachel's ghost, as expected. But this is no great shakes. This is no great shakes. She'll never be in the position she was in a couple of weeks, or just last week, in fact. Just last week, Rachel. Glenn Kellaway's very upset. I've got to go and let this bloody cat out. Hold on, Jossie, please. Hold on. Are you staying or are you going? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mind up. Mind up. Quick. I've got stuff to talk about. I ain't got time to busybody around with you. Oh, these cats. These cats. Oh, fuck's sake. Gerard, it's like the waiting for the next episode of Planet of the Apes, isn't it? It's just, oh, just wait there, please. Molly, please wait. Oh, anyway, you've got to let me deal with these cats before we get on with some exciting news, because we can cancel out a couple of suspects. We think, but I'm afraid to say, petrol has been poured upon some of the other ones as well. I mean, this is this really hot gossip. Oh, now there's a third cat trying to get in. Just give me a minute. Come on, you lot. Come on, let's get. Go. This way. Come on. Come on, okay. Come on, everyone. Out. Oh, I know what'll get rid of you. The electric bat. No, come on. Mm. Oh, well, that's it. Oh, here he is. this is this is your day, Preco Mick. We can raise our chapeau to the skies, because no matter what people try and say, she's gone. Her power is nothing. She's like Yoda that's been chucked in the corner of the room. She is. She is Toy Story 5. oh, you want to go out now, do you? Just give me a minute. Give me a minute. No, I tell you what, I've got some right good gossip, so hold on there. Don't run away, anybody. Tell your friends. Oh, listen, I know they're all nice and furry and everything, but they don't half get annoying sometimes. And tonight I got in and the place was a bit of a mess. I thought, oh, fucking hell. So I got the vacuum cleaner out, started cleaning and everything. I mean, I know. I didn't want to hear about this. But anyway, where shall we start then? Shall we start with the latest Rachel gossip? Because I watched her show. She's feeling sorry for herself. I told you, and guess what? I also added, and because Richard Dolan is a double agent, nobody's got to mind me saying that he did get in touch with me, and I said to him, "You've got to get in touch with Rachel. What happened?" And then he told me he did get in touch with Rachel, and she didn't get in touch with him back, so she was sulking somewhere. Yeah, she was sulking, and like I said, Tough shit, Rachel. Rachel's ghost, though, give it about 5 years, you might get 1,000 subs again. But anyway, I'm not here to be bitchy to you. I'm just going to tell you how naive you were if you're watching, Rachel. I've got to tell you how naive you were because you didn't even you was talking about John Winston Lennon as if he's like your blood brother or something. Now let me tell you something. Where was John Winston Lennon when your show got hijacked like it did? Mm? Mm? Where do you think John Winston Lennon was when you kept saying, "Oh, he's a bit sickly at the moment. He's not on my show." Well, I'll tell you what, he wasn't that sickly that he couldn't turn up on Mr. Mayo's show, Doc Dockus's show, Ron Boudreau's show, Richie Dolan's show, his own show. Shall I continue? I mean, but somehow he seemed to be avoiding your stream, didn't he? And I'll tell you something else. He's not in the country anymore. He's left. He's on a cruise ship going around the Caribbean at the moment, and we won't be seeing him again. He thinks he's got away with it scot free, and because he's like Kaiser Soze, he probably has got away with it scot free. See, Rachel got fooled by it, didn't she? she she thought that John Winston Lennon, she could just treat him like a gimp and he'd never do nothing. He'd just be there. Oh, do you want me to show up tomorrow? Some people play a long and wicked game. How long did this one take? A year? Wasn't it? He's turned up about last year, didn't he, that bloke? And I've seen him before. I know where he come from. I know where he come from. He's a bad sort. A bad sort. But I can't blame him totally because I think sometimes, you know, a man can be twisted by the company he keeps. He might have been a completely innocent bloke at one point, and there's got to be a lot of money getting handed down. I think his mum's told him what to do, what he must do. Otherwise, she's threatened him with something, like we're going to take away your teddy bear, or we're going to imprison your Beatle collection. It's enough to worry a bloke like that because he doesn't know about the bigger world, does he? I mean, he's never had to represent the United States in the World Ping Pong Champions, has he? So he's never really lived. But anyway, what we got? Let's read some of these things because other ideas might be coming out of the woodwork thick and fast. Thick and fast. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm just reading. It's a bit quiet when I read. What you'll have to excuse is that I haven't got any music on. I was going to put some music on, and I thought, nah. Hang on, this conversation, I'm losing it. Yes, I'm afraid to say that. She's been fooled. She's been fooled twice in 1 week. First of all, by the fiend that she explained about. Well, I didn't know. It was news to me. I thought that was funny. It sounded like James Winston really had this all planned out, down to, it's an evil plot, really, wasn't it? I mean, who would have thought it, eh? Not John Winston, oh no, Lennon, more like fucking James Bond. So, Richard Dolan was blanked by the Music Man. before she did a broadcast. But like I said, the golden days are over for you, Music Man. And talking about golden days being over, I'll give you some more information later. Oh, I'm going to officially exonerate for the time being Ron Boudry from our lines of inquiry. No further action will be taken. Um, I'm afraid to say I can't quite. AGK is still a chief suspect. Who's the other? Oh yeah, Vinyl Guri's not a suspect. She never was. She don't even know music. Bammies don't care. Um, and somebody told me it might have been Kimber, but somebody told me that DJ Trish was completely innocent. But again, nagging questions because where was she when the big sting took place on Rachel's channel? Where was she? We know that James Winston, Oh No Lennon wasn't there. And we know that AGK wasn't there. And we know that DJ Trish wasn't there. And Balding Boomer, he's still there. Don't worry. We're watching him at the moment. We're making sure, But it could have been that Glenn Kellaway because he made a video about her getting thrown off before she was even cancelled. So as if he had a panic attack and made the video, but uploaded it by accident, and then went naked on TV. Actually, he was moaning about it, and it looked like he was on holiday at a leper colony. I mean, his face looked like he'd been attacked by bumblebees. Honestly, it did. I think he was talking about Rolling Stones or something. But I only watched it because it said on Rachel's Ghost on the comments below. It said, "Oh, I only knew about this channel because Glenn Kellaway put it down." He must be feeling a bit lost at the moment. He's got a choice. Nobody wants to talk to Glenn Kellaway, so he can either talk to Music Man or Larry Graves. Now, that ain't much of a life for any man, is it? But like I said, you take one of them away, that's half of his life gone. And well, it just feels like he. Oh, it's John Heaton on at the moment. I bet he's talking about crap though. I bet he's all excited about Joey Mullins. Now it's a bit El Cheapo, isn't it? Because he said, and I've just managed to book my tickets for, and I was thinking he's going to say Glastonbury, Paul McCartney, and I thought, all right, it ain't my cup of tea, but he's got a ticket for Glastonbury, Richie Rich, but he didn't. He said fucking Joey Mullin. I thought, oh wow. I thought he might as well have said skiffle legend Ronnie Broomstick. Do you know what I mean? It did seem a bit sad up against all these Americans splashing their dollars about like they're fucking. There's no tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And that idiot, Mr. Mayor, I tell you, he's retired now. You know that, and he's confessed that he was a postman. Now that answers a lot of questions because you know what? I was a postman. I walked into that job about a week after I walked out of the Navy, and I was stuck there for 7 years. But there was a good part to it because you're only busy sort of in the morning. You can fuck around, and if you use your time wisely, you can do other things, lots of other things, and earn quite a lot of money. And I even started a business up with film processors to the third world whilst I was still working at the Royal Mail, which is the British version of the post office. We invented the post office. We used to have a brilliant service until I left, of course. No, but I'll tell you what, if I've ever worked with a bunch of fucking lost arse wankers, it has been the post office people. They're mentally. Now I know why you're like what you're like because you're stuck in that job. And as you said, there's no love for any man at that job. Everybody hates each other. People who work the night shift go mad. People who have to get up every single day at 4 o'clock turn up drunk, aggressive, late. And I remember one night shift. We went into the toilet and someone had smeared shit all over the walls. I mean, that's the sort of that's the sort of people we were working with. Nutters, nutters. I couldn't wait to get out of the fucking place. I couldn't. I mean, like I said, it was good. Once you're out on your delivery, though, it's all right because you're walking around, you're just thinking about stuff, and you even can even catch a bit of skirt when you're on the job. And if you're on a regular walk, people invite you in for a cup of tea, give you money at Christmas. I even used to have sex with some of the customers, but I mean, that's another story. But the thing is, uh, for a lot of people, it's ideal kind of work. But this is where it gets bad. Now, you were a little bit overweight, Mr. Mayo, and you said this job was keeping you, and you do get postmen in all shapes and sizes. That doesn't surprise me. But he ain't going to be exercising anymore, is he? No one's going to force him to walk around like 2 miles a day. So he's just not going to be doing it. He's going to walk to the record shop and he's going to walk back. And then he's going to drive to the Pizza Hut and then he's going to drive back. And then after about 3 months of that, he's going to die, right? It will. Your arteries will fur up. I'm getting really scared now. Your arteries will fur up and you'll be fucked. You will. And I'll tell you something else. Um, you're going to be hanging around the house. You're doing a lot of these streams and you're not letting anyone up because you seem to think someone's going to go up there naked. You see, that's no way to run a stream. And also, two people I know. One of them retired. He was called Brian Hyde, and I was after he retired. The very next day, I think he'd retired on the Thursday, and on the Friday morning, I was doing delivery around his area, and this was 6 o'clock in the morning, or 10 to 6 in the morning, and he was up and about and dressed up because and then a year later he was dead. But every day he got up fucking early in the morning. He really got in his wife's way. I think another person, Alan McCartney, he was all excited. He goes, "Well, my daughter's in the States." He always used to call it the States. He used to do my fucking head in. And we'll be going out there shortly to maybe live with them and maybe visit them. Never got to visit them. He was dead within 2 weeks of leaving. That's it. He retired. Bang. He was dead. So it just goes to show. So there's two little stories for you and also there's another thing you've got to bear in mind. Now you're going to be around a little bit more when your wife's around, and she's going to get so fucked off with seeing you around. She really will. You don't realise. So what I've suggested you do, I'll take it you've got a spare room, spare bedroom perhaps, or perhaps a music room or study. Well, get all the clutter out of that room. Go down to a duvet centre and get yourself a new bed, and just live in that room and just say hello to Mrs. every now and again. Say hi, just making a pizza or just buying a pizza. Do you want a few slices? Do you want to help me choose? And then choose your pizza, go back to your room and let her be on her own because she's going to be so fucked off. She'll be so fucked off she can't let the milkman anymore now that you're at home every fucking day. Oh dear. Yeah, they're all lost. So can somebody tell me what Mr. Heaton's talking about? Monsieur Heaton. Sounds like the cats are fighting out there. I can hear them hissing at each other. Rah! Yeah, he's got ticket, hasn't he? What an idiot. What an idiot. He just don't care, does he? Just does not care. I mean, well, now he's on pension. Now he's on pension. He won't have as much money to spend. unless he makes it big in Vegas. Like he puts all his money on the red, and it comes in. Yes, Joe Mayo, multi-millionaire. I want to buy a flat in the Dakota building directly above John Lennon's old flat. Yeah. I want to buy this butcher sleeve. I'll tell you what, if he did win the lottery, if he did win a few million, I'd help him spend it. And I'll tell you what, not Kenny Loggins, because he'd fucking notice every penny. So would Kit O'Toole. I mean, they squeak when they walk. But Tom Onyat is a complete mug with cash. So's Mr. Mayo. And I reckon, what's his face is Danny DeVito. Actually, I think Danny DeVito's really cheap. I think he's a blagger. I think he blagged all that money out of the people at the Beatle Fest. Oh, terrible times we live in, though. uh, yes. Well, what they're trying to do now is they're trying to blame John Bon Jovi and say, "Oh, well, Bon Jovi's not supposed to be going." But listen, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not going to see John Bon Jovi either, so it doesn't matter. But and a lot of people who are going to see Paul McCartney haven't got a fucking clue that he can't sing. They don't know. They're going to get in there and they're going to be horrified, or they're going to think about it afterwards and think, "Yeah, we saw Paul McCartney. He wasn't very good though, was he? I didn't want to say anything because you spent so much money on me." Do you know what I mean? And there's going to be a lot of people getting dragged along as well to those gigs. It's only a few people are going there willingly. Most of you saw what the sort of people who are going, like Mazzy and his fucking idiot friends. I mean, and also there's a big problem about these gigs that there's too many smelly people there. and that says a lot about the crowd who go, and they're overweight, middle-aged Americans apparently. So where are all these kids? And also, just to correct some people out there, these overweight and, may I say, smelly middle-aged Americans, they're also wanting to listen to Hey Jude, Let It Be, Blackbird, and My Valentine. So listen, you can't really. The set list has been chosen for good reason, not because you think it should be something better or it should be changed. No, it can't. Afraid to say, there's a lot of money riding on these things, and he's letting them down with his voice, so he can't bloody start singing Tiny Bubbles and English Tea, can he? Because the audience would be very, very fucked off. Oh, honestly, it's like teaching your granny how to suck an egg, isn't it? Oh, Brian, give me strength. Oh, Postman. Don't, because it makes him sound like you know that film The Postman with Kevin Costner. Makes him sound a bit like a future post-nuclear warrior. And that is not Mr. Mayo. What's his name? What's his name? Mad Max. Mad Mayo. Oh, anyway, look, enough about talking about him. I know there's a lot of him to talk about. Listen, I'm very, Kaiser Soze and John Winston. I wonder when he's going to show his face. I bet he'll be like with the old tropical background next time we see him, sipping out of a coconut with his like little black chick with a grass skirt on, like bending over in front of him as he drives off in his little four-wheel buggy. They only use electric buggies in the U.S. Virgin Islands, don't you know? Oh, Postman. Oh, do you know what I thought he did? Towards the end, I thought he works in a hospital, like doing something like lazy in the office. You know how they employ like loads of people at hospital, don't they? Don't even check them. They just sort of leave them up there to rot and pay them. Well, I thought he was doing that, and before that, I thought he's probably like watching security cameras in like an Arndale centre or something like that. I thought he was doing a sit down job. But all we're going to fucking hear about now is his rock pool effect. Uh, what does rock pool effect mean, Ray? I'll tell you what it means. You get it in the Navy because in the Royal Navy, you learn a sort of different language. It's called Jack speak. So I'm not going to do it for you now, but when you're with other sailors, you tend to speak in a different language. You know, it's sort of silly language, but it's quite funny. And so you'd be caught out as a spy if you wasn't a sailor, and they all started talking in this Jack speak. But anyway, the postman, the postman. That's what I was going to say. He's the rock pool effect is when you leave the navy or the army or something, and you're a bit set in your ways, or even prison in some cases, somewhere you've been for a while, and you've learnt a different language and you've learnt different habits, and then all of a sudden you're back on the high street. Nobody wants to hear your stories. Nobody wants to listen to you anymore. Nobody wants to hear how bad it was at your workplace. But because you're not working with those people anymore, you can't you can't moan to those people anymore because you're not working with them, and they'll never come to visit you. None of them. You've forgotten already. So you want to share that misery with the rest of the world. But guess what? The rest of the world doesn't want to hear this story forever. So I had it. I had it when I left the Navy. I just kept banging on and on. And people, we weren't never in the Navy. We don't fucking know what he's talking about. So in the end, you shut up because nobody knows what you're talking about. So there you are, Mr. Mayo. Zip, zip. All right. It was an exciting. It's still quite exciting to think of you in your blue uniform and your shiny shoes and your little hat like a 50 pence piece. Do you have as in America? Do you have guns as a postman? Because I mean, it's vital. You're guarding the Queen's post. It's you're a guard of sorts. He will be. Give it about a month. Give it about a month. He'll be like, dear John. No, you never know. He might turn into a sex machine. Maybe he hasn't done nothing for years, and maybe he's saying, hey baby, with all this spare time I got now, you know what? I'm just feeling it all the time. I'm like a love machine. Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to suggest to you, Mr. Mayo, is you need a purpose. You need a purpose, and you're a nosy fucker as well. And listen, every time your purpose is going down that record shop, but you're not making much money out of it, are you? And you know, if you're not making much money out of it, you should be going somewhere where you are making a bit of money. So what you could do is you could catalog every single Beatle record you've got and how many times you've got it and on how many albums and what colors you got, and then you can scan all the artwork, and then you can say, look, this is my collection, and put it online and everyone can marvel at it, and you won't have to get it. And you could also do a book about shrimp wrap. What was your million seller, Mr. Mayo? What was it? I'll tell you what it was. It was a large collection of shrink wrap. It's there for everyone to see. It's fucking boring, but enough people wanted to see it. In fact, it is still the number one Mr. Mayo video to this day. Forget what he's got to say about Paul McCartney. No, they want to see a large collection of shrink wrap. So, yeah, this is it. You've got to keep your head busy. You've got to keep your head busy. Yes, this is true. He's trying to. I don't know because he says he's going through some sort of dilemmas at the moment, problems at the moment. I think he is. I think he's losing it a bit because he's going around making out he's Mr. Fucking Happy at the moment. He's not Mr. Happy. He's right fucked off. He is fucked off. He's fucked off because he don't want to. He doesn't want to be working, but he doesn't want to be retired either, and he doesn't want to commit to anything. What he should be doing now is saying, "Hey, do you know what? Now that I'm free, I don't have to book a holiday anymore, a vacation anymore. I think I'm going to go to London, England, and go see what those crazy British people do and cross over the zebra crossing where 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 Abbey Road was made." and and maybe I could go and see Andrew Dixon up the north. In fact, you know what? Andrew Dixon actually suffered this week because of bloody Rachel stealing everyone's thunder. He's been doing an incredibly boring series about how he's ranking Paul McCartney albums, and I didn't realise that 2 episodes have been made since the since the Music Man gate. So she's blocked all conversation and all communications with the rest of the world because everybody's been saying, "Come on, let's hear her story." It's quite exciting story as well. Yeah, like I said, a professional job. And until John Winston Lennon shows himself, we can't ask him about it. He's saying he's sick at the moment, so he don't have to answer questions. But how many times have we said we're sick and we can't get to the phone? And we're just thinking, now, just can't be asked. Get up, talk to that person. Yeah, he was a laughing stock, wasn't he? Eh? He was, but now look at him. Eh? He's turning into Lee Marvin in front of my eyes. Last week he was Forrest Gump. Now look at him. Eh? Conan the Barbarian. He's going to run off with the loot. So that's about it, really. I mean, I'm hoping to get more communications from other people about. Hopefully, I'll hear from Richie Dolin later, and he might be able to let me know what the score is. If you're out there, Richie Dolin, it's all right. You can talk. Oh yeah, well, there you go. Well, he says he's given plenty of chances, but he hasn't. No, he's not, and she still thinks that he's there and he's the loyal servant. How wrong you are, Rachel. How wrong you are. The Ghost Show. What she should call it is, Rachel, I've got 100 subscribers. Woo, 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 woo. Any news from Bobby? Oh, look, I bet you there is news from Bobby because, like I said, when this high drama starts, you tend to, it's like I said, I had no idea that John Heaton was doing a live broadcast as we're speaking. But like I said, if he's talking about Joey Mullin, I absolutely no interest whatsoever. Hopefully, he's talking about Britain coming second in the Eurovision. But can I tell you some sad news? My wife, she feels very upset. She thinks Britain has been conned from the first place because obviously Ukraine has got the number one. And I said, no, that's not the case. I said, if there hadn't been a war on in Ukraine, Britain would have still got no points. This was a deliberate thing. 'Cause, I mean, who's going to remember? Well, I don't remember what was number 2 last year in the Euro. It was awful. It was awful, and I don't think anything of our entry is completely forgettable. The whole contest is completely forgettable. Well, you don't need to feel sorry for him anymore because he's proven he's a ruthless killing machine. So, like I said, this was like a Operation Guns of Navarone. It couldn't have been planned better. It couldn't have been. I mean, was there two people involved? Maybe more. Other people have said it was Davis Winchester, the Waxed, and Mazzy, who want to try and make music more sensible. And this was one of the theories. Another theory was that Mr. Mayo was so angry and bitter since he left the post office. He said since his post office license was revoked, that he actually got in touch with. He went on naked because he thought, I can't. I've opened up too much to Rachel. I need to have that she cannot control that, and I'm jealous because she's getting paid for it. Right, so I'm going to destroy her, and he destroyed her. But I don't think he's capable of such a stealth-like and ruthless operation. I mean, it makes the raid on Entebbe look like the fall of Singapore. I mean, it's just yeah, Brotherhood of Man. I'm glad you remembered them. Oh, they'll tell you what though, Brian. The Irish, they kicked our ass for years, didn't they? Oh God, yeah. Save your kisses for me. Save all your kisses. Brilliant. 32 people are tuned in to listen to Invisible Ray singing Save Your Kisses for Me. But to me, they were always a little bit ugly. You know, I didn't like, I know John Heaton likes them, but I never liked them. The girls were a bit too camel toey for my liking. Um, well, Tattoo, they were they in the Euro song? Uh, Oh, hello, fit to be tied on. I saw you. I'm sure I saw you there. Yes, hello there, fit to be tied on. We've got Miss. What's his pre-code mix here as well? I mean, there's two happy guys sitting here right now. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry you've got to look at Rachel's ghost, but it's all right. It's all right because, like I said, in the game of snakes and ladders, she's right at the bottom of the ladder at the moment. All her power has been knocked out of the water overnight. Bang. Savage Garden. Hey, hey, Rachel. Savage Garden. Uh, yes. We've knocked Ron Boudre off the list of suspicious people. But I'm afraid to say, unless you missed it, fit to be tie-dyed, that John Winston Lennon has absconded from the country, and we're waiting to hear from him. He says he's sick. Richie Dolan also tried to get in touch with Rachel at my instruction and received no reply at all. But I'm sure you've heard through the grapevine. We've all heard now that Rachel has got a new channel, and I would advise everybody do not subscribe to Rachel's channel because this thing's going to happen again. She's like, well, oh, I'm behaving myself now. I'm just a poor housewife. Can't a girl just sit here and talk about music? No, it weren't about that, was it, Rachel? It wasn't. It wasn't. Your place was Sodom and Gomorrah times six. No, it was worse. It was worse. Honestly, even what's his face? Peter North would have thought the whole thing was disgusting. Oh no! If you read a special ghost, Madam Rachel Ghost, and all of the people underneath, and it makes for funny reading. It's very funny reading, and I'm also copy pasting some of these comments as well. Not these ones here, but some of these comments on Rachel's Ghost because honestly, they're awful. They're really bad. And also, and Mr. Mayo, he said he goes to the Beatles Fest to see his fans. Who the fuck are you, Mr. Mayo? Rudolph Valentino? Bloody hell. Honest, some people, hey? You're the postman and you fucked it up, delivered my bills are 6 months late because you delivered them to the dead bloke next door. and he was leaking all over my letters because I'd left him in there for 6 months. Ah, yeah, the postman. Bloody hell. Oh, he's... Listen, like I said, if you've worked at the post office, it's not a nice experience. Like I said, you can make it nice on a sunny day when you're out and about. Yeah. And I used to smoke on delivery as well. I was always puffing away. Yeah, it was nice. And if I was in a more rustic place, because I had to do a delivery on the outskirts of the big town, and it was all like the manor houses and the big houses, and it's all tree lined roads and everything. And of course, people don't go out their houses because they think if there's working class people doing tradesman stuff down their street, they think we're going to mug them or kill them or rape the daughters or something, so they don't come out. Which is why in rich neighbourhoods you don't get much tipping going on. They're not tippers in the rich neighbourhoods, but they always come out like a couple of days before start. Oh, how many deliveries do you do? Ah, and so I told you last week I did 2 deliveries, and the week before that I also told you I did 2 deliveries. In fact, I've been saying it to you now for about 2 years now. Fuck off. Or else, here's another one, Mr. Mayo. You see, this is why he's always so grumpy, because you get this one, and this one is not funny. There's people who are retired and they're at home. They're not seeing anyone all day. They get Meals on Wheels maybe at midday, but just annoyingly, I'm out on the street because I've got nothing better to do. And then you see the bloke, and he comes out, and he's 10 doors up. And he makes out he's just messing around outside his front porch, but he's not. He's waiting for me. He's waiting to say, when I go up his path, he's waiting to say that same fucking joke I've heard from about 50 different people today who've also been standing on their porch waiting for me, somebody to talk to. And they say, if it's a brown one, you can take it back. Yeah. I know. I know. And no wonder, now that we found out that man's a postman, no wonder he hates you fit to be tie-dyed. Academics do not rock his boat. They don't. And he said he hated management. And I know for a fact that management at the post office are not academic. They're fucking union bastards half the time. And the union are fucking union bastards as well. And it's so union run, the bloody post office. Oh, I hated it. I hated it. And then after I went to the railway and they was all union. Oh, I fucking hate unions. I really do. Oh, but what about what they've done for you? No, I say give us a club with a nail stuck in it, like Captain Caveman, and let's just get on the street, fight it out, fight your way up the road. Use that gun as you, Mr. Mayo, the gun they give you at the post office. Use it. Go in the store and do what you've got to do. Hey, I told you, if you're angry about your job and you're frustrated, sexually frustrated, go and take a walk like 5 o'clock in the morning because you'll be getting up at 5 anyway. So get your ass down to that record shop, and when that wanker takes in his post, shoot him. And then when that tramp crawls out of his bin, shoot him. Bang, bang, bang. And video it as well, and then put it up online. And then they'll say, "Oh, Mr. Mayo, he just retired, and we shouldn't send him to prison because we knew he was about to snap." And here I am, Dr. Invisible Ray, Mr. Mayo. I am here to help you. So if you do go ahead and do that tomorrow, I can say, yes, I understand, because I diagnosed him in time. But Mr. Mayo didn't get the diagnosis. He just charged in there with his gun. But now you can actually secretly listen to this and act on what I've just said, because these people are no good for you. You need to be in your retirement shoving shoving dollar bills down women's tops, not in some fucking sweaty old crinkly fucking ugly bloke who stole money. You remember when COVID come along and he started saying, "Oh, I'm going to be broke in a week," not telling you about the money that the government giving him, scrounging all that money. What happened to that? I bet you didn't even get a slice of pizza for that, did you? I bet you raised about 1,000 quid for him as well. Yeah, 1,000 quid in my pocket and up my nose, mate. Yeah, that's what I said. Do you know he's going to die? He's going to die because now we know he's the postman. He's not going to be getting that 2 rounds worth of, unless he was one of those fucking van drivers. But he said no. He said, well, I mean, well, maybe van driving wore him out during the day, but he reckons he was a post delivery person, so he must have been on foot. Huh? He'll tell us anyway because he's died. He can't keep it in anymore. He can't keep it in. He's like a truth drug, which is why I think he's been to the doctors and he's been prescribed Valium because he seems to be a bit happier about things at the moment. He's not losing it as much, and Valium does that to people. It just make you, oh yeah, okay, it's all sort of, it's there to for housewives, housewives that get bashed up and stuff like that, just to calm them down and all that. Every woman in Britain is on Valium, by the way. Yeah. The worst thing is when you go out with a girl and then they sort of say, oh, we can have a few drinks. You know what? One drink leads to the next. And then you get on, you get to the restaurant and say, would you like a glass of red? I said, oh, no, I mustn't drink alcohol. I'm on medication. I said, oh, fucking great, innit? Fucking great. Oh, what? You popped over to watch it now? She's on now? Cool. She's already done one video, hasn't she? Fucking hell. Has anybody been over to watch the death of Andrew Dixon's dreadful series? Oh, God, it was so boring. God, we had to listen to just about every single track that Andrew Dixon likes by Paul McCartney. I thought if he's doing Paul McCartney, it's about what? It's not Wings, is it? But no, he's doing Wings as well. It's false advertising again. Oh, you've blocked it. Well, I've managed to put a message up on her board at the moment before I get blocked. That's the good thing about it, though, because now that she hasn't blocked anybody, so she's got to block them all again, and she can't block them all again until she's had a bad experience with them. So well, I've got about 4 tries then. I better make them good, eh, Rachel? Rachel's ghost. Woo. Oh, I'll tell you what, you're not my favourite ghost. Mm. Ah, that title goes to Casper. Oh yes, Casper the Friendly Ghost. Ah, oh. So anybody that likes a TV show called The Honeymooners is not an intellectual or an academic. So Mazzy, you're brain dead. Go away. Oh. No, he's not. He's not. He's actually Dixon is an educated man, so watch out. Watch out. Be careful with him. Mm. I'll just let you lot speak for a few minutes because I'm reading all this. Wimpy, did you know in England? I think Wimpy's still going. I think it is. I used to like Wimpy. I did. I got to tell you. And when McDonald's turned up, I was, no, I'm never going to go anywhere else but Wimpy in my whole life. And you know what? Within about 2 months, I was in eating Big Macs every day. I'd never tasted nothing like the Big Mac in my whole life. I hated Americans. And my friend Lee Richardson, I said to him, listen, before we go to the cinema, I said, I've got to go to McDonald's. And he says, can't we go after? I says, no. I said, I need to go now. I've got to get a Big Mac. And he said, listen, Ray, he said, please don't go to McDonald's. I says, why not? He said, did you know that for every burger you buy, you're buying a bullet for the IRA? I said, no. And he says, yes, they support NORAID. But my patriotism and my love for the country could not, could not, could not stop my hunger for this brutal piece of synthetic crap with a bit of cheese in it and a strange thing they called a pickle, which isn't a pickle at all. What do Americans call pickles? But anyway, over time, I stopped telling the people in McDonald's to take that pickle out because they talk to you in American half the time. They say, have a nice day, sir. And I always start laughing when they say that. I say, have a nice day. Thank you very much, sir, I say, because it is a shock, but it's polite as well. Because, you know, some of these kids, they want to be the manager of the store and they're all really, you know, helpful. And you know, and you know, when you get a bad, I mean, KFC, the service is like fucking shit half the time. You know, you got a lot of foreigners working in. And listen, I've got nothing against foreigners working in fast food places, but in KFC, they're a little bit more sort of, you know, disorganized. I'm always waiting for my dessert, and I have to go back up. And when I've gone back to my seat, they've stolen my beer. And you know, and you have to deal with these real idiots, you know, and it's difficult getting through to them sometimes because not everybody out there has got the wit and sophistication of Invisible Ray. Some people, you know, you can talk to and you have to wait about 2 minutes for the answer. You know, was that a difficult question? Have you got any ketchup? Do you know what I mean? It's so. Oh yeah. Well, she'll never get that back again. She'll never get that back again. Do you know? I think, you know, I don't even think she'll get John Winston come back because I think now we've kind of exposed him a little bit. I think he'll be too frightened to come back or even face her. And like I said, he's under a lot of pressure at the moment. You know, they don't want him to uh, get ideas above his station about moving into this room, this self-contained room, because God knows what he'll get up to if he's not supervised. He needs to be supervised by a medical team. That's why he's escaped to St Thomas. I wish I could, but you know that's him. He's got the money. He's got the money. He said, "Mum, buy me an album. I'll buy you an album, son, as long as we go ahead with that plan that we spoke about with Rachel. I think it's time now. Oh, I wish it didn't have to be like this, Mum, but you know best, and I love you." If we could have been a fly on it, maybe there was a pincer movement between um, JWL Ono's evil brother-in-law and his mum. She could be like Ma Baker, or else, as a lot of people have said to me, he's working on his own. I just can't see how a man who would appear so slow could work as quickly as that, though, to get on a channel, expose his nakedness, and then to report to the authorities himself, essentially, and to give himself a different name. God, the man is a criminal genius. Raffles. Does he leave? Watch out, ladies. Watch out, Melinda, because he may leave a box of milk tray in your bedroom with his calling card. Da, 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 da. He'd probably trip over the carpet on his way down the stairs. Oh, well, the thing is that they shouldn't be suspecting me. I mean, they can if they want. I mean, it makes it a bit more, spruces it up a little bit if you think Invisible Ray's got anything to do with this. But you know, much con- I don't condemn the perpetrators. She, he, it. We don't know. It could be that woman who did the eulogy, or Rachel, because she called her the Music Man. That's not very respectful, is it? I know for a fact she hates that. Can somebody? I asked you this before. If if you know that woman, if you if you Google Rachel the Music Man, you'll get that woman who's probably a bloke dressed up as a woman saying her lyrics. Now, can somebody go out there and tell me what this song is? Just now, I don't want to look. I can't get in a different screen. Or I'm rattling on a bit, but you know, these people they go out there and they say, yes, we have. Rachel will never be destroyed. She will never be beaten. She has been. Let me just tell you now, she has been destroyed. No, this. What do you mean, Rach? Is she watching me now? Anyway, listen, I'll put off because I didn't know she was watching. I thought she was doing her own stream. Bugger off. Anyway, like I said, I'm not subscribing, and for the rest of the U37, don't subscribe because it's nothing. And Rachel, I'm sorry to tell you about James Winston. I mean, I think it's diabolical. It's totally diabolical. And with that, I am going. I'm leaving. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.